The villagers saw it. The townsmen cried. A fiery mass larger than anything anyone had ever seen in their life, crashing down, destroying everything in its path. After the destruction, a name was given. The birth of a time where no one would forget. The calamity? It was called your mum. The biggest load of destruction ever to be seen! Alright, get that out of here. I wish I could have like a record scratch. Suffice to say, your mum is the dangerous thing we have ever come across in this plane of existence, and dare I say the most destructive thing anyone's ever seen. Jump into some HeroForge. Keep yourself hydrated. Hey guys, welcome. If you guys are joining the stream for the first time, holy shit, I could not thank you enough. Please let me know in chat if you guys are coming back and checking out these series. Well, welcome back. Hope you guys have a good night regaining some hit points. Take that short rest, it's well deserved. Today we're jumping into HeroForge. Specifically, what I wanted to do is I wanted to dive into a few saves that I've got. Not that I've done, I'll list the users who have actually created these amazing creations. And I wanted to break down the fundamentals of what makes them so amazing. I think when we see a miniature, it's easy to be confronted with this intimidating, oh, this is going to take me hours and hours, and it's likely to, but I don't want to, I say that, it's likely to take a long time if you are doing it on more of a professional scale, and I don't think those who do it on a professional scale really give themselves the credit for it. But to start out, there are ways that you can really make your miniature look amazing, and it's, you know, it's not going to take you hours of work, it's not going to take you all this. I suppose when you see these amazing creations, your first thing to do is to sort of gore at them and go, oh wow, this is amazing, this is blah 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 blah, I wish I could do that. But if you actually, a lot of them have clickable links, or if creators have been kind enough to sort of share out those links, you can actually have an in-depth look as to what makes them look good. And these small tips and tricks, they're not super difficult, and they can really be that changing factor on what makes something really good. So we're going to dive into a few. We do have a few today, and then we're going to create a nice little project. Well, not project, but a nice little creation that I wanted to do. I want to do like a dragon knight, something with just like the armor is very unique, using a few tips and tricks I've learned. And if I forget them, we'll implement them, we'll go over them together. Suffice to say, let's get into it. So this, I always just put this up because I don't like spoiling the first one, but we'll go through it. So it is worth mentioning that these first two that I'll be showing you is from the user Sand Jaguar, or Sand Jaeger, SandJaegar. I don't know if I'm saying that correct. This person is incredible. Just the work that they've done here. Let's have a little look at their first one. This is a Fawn King. Let me dive that a little bit over here. It's always at the beginning of the stream it becomes a little bit choppy, and that's just because we've got so many tabs open. Let's break down this. I'm going to turn down the music at least a little bit for me so it's not as distracting, because I'm like soothing with it. Alright. First of all, the first thing that shouts out to me about this is the positioning. Like, you've got so many of those not advanced positionings, but like positionings that the site offers you to do, and I just don't think they show a lot of character. They're all right for bases, but they're not that great. There are a lot of changes coming in soon, so perhaps we might dive into that as well. There's also a HeroForge, like it's like almost like a season 2 that we could jump into. I'll see if I can't play the video of that as well. We'll do this one, then we'll jump into that video and check it out together. So this one, first thing that shouts out to me is the positioning. So like flat out, just the hunch over, which is probably like the bad posture mixed with just hunching the back forward. But then you've got the right shoulder sloping down, sort of showing the weight of that. The item that he's holding. And then of course what sort of stands out is the face. And so the face really is just like, that's a mix up between the skull face, I believe, with a horn at the front so it doesn't look decrepit. So it sort of has a nose in that formality. A nose ring, eyes, which you can sort of see are popping out of the sockets, some more horns on the side here, of course those big fawn horns. For the most part, that's like pretty much what makes the most of it in terms of like what's obscure about like why it looks weird but why it works. And of course you just got hair and the side beard as well that makes up like the hair on the body. Everything else is pretty stock standard. I don't think I recall seeing anything here that was like super out of the ordinary, but just even those small things on the face can really help you create a race that isn't already put into this website, which is absolutely incredible. I want to go into pose and I want to go into the advanced pose. I just want to see. Okay, so you can see on the top right hand side, this is what I mean by like breaking down things that you know, at first glance you think, oh, this is going to be super hard to make something like this. But then you see the breakdown of it and it's like, well, actually, this is one of the simpler ones. It's more about how you do it and sort of just keeping an eye out. And to be honest, I feel like any piece of art, you sort of look at it and you go, well, I wish I had that skill and ability. But truth be told, like, even now, like, I didn't think to ever use the horn, like a front horn, turned around and then dipped down, which I believe would be this one. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of a scale. Oh, no, it's not those ones. It would be this one, because that's a lonesome. Scale that up and down, see? So, I wouldn't... Interesting. I would have even made that smaller, but I guess he did make it a little bit bigger just to give sort of that brush on the nose. So... yeah, I wouldn't know this, and I think that's the best part about art, is now that you see it, you go, well, you know what, I could implement that myself, and that's pretty cool. Why not, right? Just fixing this lighting here. Welcome to stream. It's like a very dark stream. I need a better light. We'll fix that. We'll fix that. But that's incredible, and I think the colors are just amazing as well. They sort of blend with each other. This definitely looks like I tell you what, I bet you this is a wood that's been manipulated. Like the color's been manipulated, because I just don't feel like that looks like a really good wood color. And I just don't believe it's a wood that we've been offered. So that's the mulch brown. Yeah. Okay, so maybe it hasn't. Oh, I think it has been modified a bit. That's a really cool mulch brown. So you can see the stats. You can copy them if you want on the right hand side. So RGB 62 35 17. And I suppose that's for the, okay, I'll go low, mid, and high. That's actually a really good brown color. Roughness is up, fuzz is down, of course, opacity, blah blah blah, no glow. Fantastic. Awesome stuff. And you can see a lot of color, like the colors that have been used here as well aren't hectic. So the ones that stand out, of course, are his skin. So we're probably looking at the, yeah, the mushroom brunette. I'm interested with the stone. The slate grey actually looks really good. I think they may have manipulated that as well, but again, I might be wrong. The antique and destroy is nice as well, because it sort of shows that brown at the ending, sort of showing that's been used. And then the crumbling brown is what's been used on the face. So that's a... oh no, that's for that. What do we have on the face? The face we've got... oh, just Earth Spirit, I believe. Yeah, cool. Cool. So that's an amazing put together there. But again, for me, what is really stand out about this is the pose. Like, the pose is incredible. I really want to save this for the pose. I think what I might do is I might even deconstruct this one. I mean, big props to the person who made it. I might deconstruct it based to its base and keep the position, and then just rebuild it in sort of my image of what I would like to see, because I'm definitely seeing like full-blown ogres in this position. I'm seeing maybe like small goblins in like a pack in this position. There's a lot of creatures. I think those are pretty like stock standard, like, you know, big, heavy, blunt object, like weight on one arm sort of thing. They seem pretty like I want to say typical. I say typical. Here's why I say typical. Because I feel like they're not unique. At least not unique in the sense of like when I was creating a homebrew D&D 5e character, I took a lot of inspiration from the subclasses and races that you could essentially do, or were a little bit more put together in the 3.5. I saw a website like a wiki where like they were all together and they had some balancing that needed to be added to them, but for the most part like a large community had put all these 3.5 races together. And boy, were there a lot of races. So I feel like when I go into like my knowledge of races when it comes to D&D, it feels so miniaturized, pun intended, compared to what is actually out there. It's actually super incredible what like the things people have created and the races people have created and thought about. I'm sure you could play like a jelly bean if you wanted to. And someone's actually created like a balanced sheet for that. You'd be like a gelatinous something. Who knows? Get creative. So I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to save him. I'll just double check that he's then in my thing, because I really would like to deconstruct him and use his pose. Yeah, that's a really cool pose. Cool. Which also brings up like another question, like the HeroForge community, I'm assuming, big assumption here, is I think pretty good in terms of like I feel like it's big enough to be acknowledged, but not big enough for people to really be too scandalous. I don't want to say like there's not drama, but they're probably, I don't know. And what I mean, this is all circling around. Like I feel like I can save this, but soon in the new update, they're going to be releasing like a community board where you can post your stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see if people are okay with people putting hours and hours of work into their miniature and then people recoloring it or just reshaping it and then reposting it as their own. Not saying that that's going to happen, but it could be interesting to see where that goes. Maybe I'm starting drama before it's ever happened. Anyways, let's go into the second one made by this user. I can close this down now. This amazing frostbird, which instantly made me think of the harpies in The Witcher 3, but also in Skyrim as well. They're not harpies, they're hug ravens. And so I thought this was amazing, and it brings up something that I haven't really done a lot of, which is like really working on body decal, like worn looks. I think I talked about in my previous streams, I've definitely talked about the worn looks on the face, having like the sun sort of spots be something that give it definition. But there's a lot to this, and so what stands out to me is, first of all, the colors between like the bone on the arm is similar to bone cloth here. You know, even when you've got the spell effect happening here on the arm, you see the decal being used on the arm as well, and the coloration of the arm and the cloth wrap here that's on the hand. They are like that white tinge as well. So it's not just the spell that's playing off this amazing sort of look, it's also that. And you can see that I think he's wearing a gauntlet as well, like a mini hand gauntlet of some formality, and that's sort of also playing to it as well. These wings are really well positioned. I mean, the whole him just being like that is really well positioned. I really always like the one foot in front of the other look, whether it's left or right. Everything just feels right about this. Like the wings are especially like placed so that they seem to be more like they're connected to the arms rather than being wings themselves, which really sells it. That's super amazing how they've sort of done that. And it doesn't really matter if like the wings clip or look a little bit weird, because you've got this fur shoulder piece as well, and that fur shoulder piece is sort of covering the, I suppose, the not mistakes, but like maybe the weird look of the wings being connected with each other. And then the head's amazing. Let's move this over here a little bit. You got that broken down face, nice like gum color. I really like that. Again, playing with simple, like being simple, like, hey, this color is with this color. And I think recently I've been a bit of a hypocrite. I really like the idea of like there being a lot of different variations of color here and there. But in this one, it's like, I'm pretty sure if I go to colors, they're not going to be super complicated. Let's have a little look. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, so that seems pretty standard. So you've got like this sun-dried yellowtail, which is gone here. And you've got this bulky beige, which is gone for like the eyes, the shoulder, not the bone. The bone is an actual bloody skull. Is bloody skull actually the brown though? No, see, bloody skull is actually white. So what we're seeing here, this bloody skull, is a sort of refurbished bloody skull to have more tints of blue in it, like that bone with blue, which just works well with the rest of the colors. Nice decal on the feet, glow on the axe. Really showcasing what's important. What's important isn't him holding the axe, it's showing this ice arm that's sort of crooked and also in the way. The head's tilting, which also draws your attention to the head immediately as well. And you get taken to these antlers, which are now being repurposed as almost like this side headpiece. And then you've got these amazing horns at the top. I really do like this. I think this would be like an awesome basis for like a harpy look. Like if I would probably keep one arm down and then one arm up and really crooked, maybe like they're pecking on something. That could be really cool as well. Like drop the axe and stuff like that. I really like that. Let's jump into the next one. So the next couple. No, this one is still by the same user. Let's have a little look. I thought this one was fun. I thought it'd be fun to show off. This is just like a slime dude, man. It's the slime king. And I think this is something that we forget we can do as well. Is if you just make everything the same color, you know, it's basically one thing, right? So, I mean, really, if we were to break this one down, let's have a look. So clearly you've got the head in there with a mask and a hood, right? So that now looks like a mouth. Well, okay. You bend the body, so bad... Oh, I'm really putting that out of the streams here. I really got to remember everything needs to go to the right hand side. I've moved everything over here as well because now you can see the see what's being implemented rather than sort of being like, oh, but how do you do that? What items do you do that with? So with this guy, it's like, okay, kneeling down position, bent over, big hunch, looking down essentially, a twisted head, which is a good, nice little thing as well, which sort of sells the odd look. And then you've just got these webbed feet, so the frog web feet. You've got these big spells that are like super big, super enlarged going into the body. You've got what looks like a sword here or a form of dagger, which when going down has the spell effect of goo, which that's been colored in. The legs are quite chunky as well, so the size of the body has been increased. You can also see that from his back as well. That sort of everything's been increased and blown up a bit. You got another sword here, which I'm sure is most likely doing an effect. The only thing I'd be interested to... and of course you got like some downward pointing horns as well. And of course the alien eyes to sort of show he does have eyes. And it looks like perhaps maybe like a scarf or something that's wrapped around here. That's just adding that little bit more, and then obviously a torn outfit. I'm curious to know if this one has multiple arms. Okay, no, so it doesn't. So of course it's got like the big flames going on here, the horn, the daggers, the eyes. We already saw this, we already knew this. And of course, they've got the smoke item at the bottom as well, going up on their feet, and that's sort of been then put the same color for that gelatinous look. And then of course you've got like horns here to make like a crown. I think that it's important to definitely have, like, if you're going to create something that looks very inanimate, to have like a headpiece to sort of define where the eyes are, at least in this. That's really cool. And I thought, like, I don't know, something like this, I was like, you know what? What's nice is to see, for me, the effort that people go into to make creations like this. And I say that because I feel as though that when this next update comes out and things are going to be, like, I suppose easier to make, it will just be a true testament as to like what people used to have to do. I think that was a big thing in Animal Crossing. when it first came out, the Animal Crossing New Horizon, is people had to do a lot of different custom designs and putting weird items together just to make it look like something. Mansions, barns, castles. Castles was a huge thing, like different kinds of bridges, water fountains that weren't, I don't know, natural. Ponds and stuff, and I think like now after the updates it's really amazing to see that like they've added castle stuff, so you no longer need to get all these panels with cool designs in it, and like kudos to all those creators that like put in that amazing amount of effort, and I'm like sort of thinking like countless hours. But so they implement that and it's like, okay, the next generation has it a little bit easier, you know, there's this implement. So this is amazing. So the next couple that we're going to dive into are by Hug Me Too. HUGMEETOO. These guys on Reddit as well. So these ones I really wanted to break apart because there's so much about them that at first glance, like I was saying before, you look and you go like, I wish I could do that. And it's very possible to do that. Like, they're not impossible, but I think there's like almost like these hidden tricks that no one points out that can make you feel discouraged, but really it's just a matter of understanding what fundamentally makes them. And this is number one. So what's going to be the key difference between ones I have shown versus the ones we're looking at now? It's so interesting. There's two ways I can move it. I can move it like this way. I don't want to like push it away off screen. The fundamental things between this one and the last two that we saw is if you look at the pose and the advance, look how complicated that is. Right? So in this one, we have a lot of tails. So let's break down what's making this one. First and foremost, how amazing is that? I really love the colors. I think this is a true testament that sort of speaks truth, I suppose I was just going to say, about what designing your own colors can do. You sort of look at these colors and you think like, oh wow, I would really like to use that color on my next one, but they look custom, especially these pants. You think anything's impressive, it's this coloration right here. I would like to actually know what that is, because if you look at the color palette, have a look at this mix. Insane. So these ones aren't being used at the bottom here, but I am curious to know if we go into here. Curious to know what color this is, and I think it's going to take a good hot second to try. Figure it out. See, even interesting, that's like a tidy-whitey. But that tidy-whitey has been... Interesting. Surely it doesn't go on that. Now see, that's what's confusing. Wow. See, you see some items highlight with the color that I can change. That's fascinating. But it doesn't show up on all. Interesting, let me see if I can't choose another color. Let's go with something completely different. So it is that. Huh, about that. Is that a layering? Can you layer in this? What I mean by that is, can you put a color and then another color over it? Sort of blending the two colors. Let's test that. Oh my god, that really knocks out my whole face. Oh, drink it over here. Okay, this is confusing me. So tidy-whitey, but is it the opacity just really... No, the opacity is really high. Interesting. Have a look at that. If I turn the opacity down, like these are all clearly different colors, but it does look like that this layer has been placed on top. Perhaps this is something you can only achieve in Pro. I'm not too sure. I'll have to try to do a test of that myself. Let's try to do a test of that now. If I go... I mean, how am I... what can I do here? What can I do here? I can just grab a new... HeroForge. I don't believe what I'm about to do is going to work. So essentially, it looks like they've just got... Well, there's another one that we're going to be getting to. Let's do a new... We won't save this. Okay, clothes. Yep, let's just grab this nice outfit that's already pre-made. Color. We'll do his jacket because that's super obvious. Okay, so let's go into paints and what did he have? He just had like a... What was the actual... It was a cloth, wasn't it? So let's go with a light color and then we'll put something else on it. So let's go with sage. So it might be appropriate to... Let's do sage in two places. We'll do sage here and here. Actually, we'll do sage for the whole thing, right? Then we're going to get a second color. And let's make it bulky beige. No, what we needed to do is save an... This is what we need to do. What we need to do is save an area to put bulky beige in and then obviously put this down. So this is bulky beige on top of the last one. And now this is just bulky beige on the side. I don't think there's much of a difference there. Let's go into here. We'll make it the beige again. Let's do gloss this time. We'll do like night and day. So we'll do like a tidy whitey here. And then we'll do a 8 slate there and there. Feels... If I go into mix, see in mix it's only saying that I'm using one color, so it must be a pro thing to sort of put layer on layer. That's okay. What I want to do more or less instructional on how one can achieve this without having pro. I think that's the goal there. So let's go back to this one and see what really makes it. So aside from the colors, which are amazing, and I'm sure, you know, here's the thing, like, it's one thing to also be like, oh look, they make amazing colors. It's like, yeah, but it's like any color palette, like copy and paste the palettes. Like if you want that color, put that color in. I think that's like, yes, you could do the hard work to find the color palette you want, or just take from something that's super amazing. Save this, make something yawning. Need to pump up. Save it, make something that's original, that's yours, and then just use the colors. If you feel the need to, ask the user. I provided them. Let's go. Well, let's jump into the pose. This is why I was like, oh, it's going to be complicated. Okay. So, first and foremost, multiple arms. Let's see what these multiple arms are doing. Right now, I can tell you this. There are a lot of items. Bottles, bottle, bag, bag. So already you've got a lot more items on the side. And then you got these spells here. So if I was to get this arm here. Yawn it out. Yawn it out. If I was to get this bag here, not this bag, this arm, and move it around, this is what you're getting. You're getting an arm that's casting a spell. Okay, so that's number one. Arm number two is holding that item there. See? It's bent within the body. And then just colored, I guess, to look similar. And then just like that. It's almost colored similar so that it also just looks like the leather straps. Like if we Command Z. Something like that. See, barely noticeable. Only if you're really looking do you see a hand, and even if you do, you can play it off and be like, yeah, it's a hand holding my items. Why not? Underneath this hat, you've got these fins, just scale. So they sort of show like this side part, which is quite cool. You can do that in helmets to sort of show like the side padding as well, and that's looks like what they've done here. And I guess like because they've used that instead of hair, it sort of doesn't interfere with the hat, so the hat can sort of work a little bit more with this. The main feature of this is the tails, which are all wrapped around. If I twist this dramatically, you'll see that they're just a part of it. And what's good is that they're hiding the hands that are underneath as well. So when the hands are being manipulated, you know, you won't see them because you've got these. So, I mean, sometimes if you're creating miniature and you've got like this, dare I say, like, idea that's not going to work because you've got all these hands poking out or something. Whip some of these boys on it. My goodness. What is that? What keeps you awake? What keeps you going? I need to do like a... like something to... Man, I just need like a Mountain Dew. No, already instantly got disapproved by the girlfriend. Nuh-uh. That ain't gonna do any good for you. Alright, let's speed through these because I really want to get to my Dragon Boy. Amazing, right? Pretty cool stuff. I'm gonna save him because I like the colors. Alright. Next one, similar road. Ignore the lighting. The lighting is really cool. Yes, I know. But we need to get to what's important, and that's just the outfit. How cool is this? Again, you guys can just check these out on Reddit. I'll sort of just slide through how these are made. So again, you've got this whole creation here. In here, we've got no featuring eyes or mouth. So you could add yours if you want. But it almost looks cool without, because it sort of just shows like the idea is this whole thing is about the outfit rather than the, you know, the eyes and the features that sort of make up your character. And they're like facial expressions and stuff. It's more like a, quite literally like a mannequin. Again, let's jump into pose and advanced pose. This one, not so complicated. Again, you got a few tails making up the scarf. You got some horns here which make a... Right? Okay. So, again, this is where like the utilization of horns is always super amazing. You've got this helmet here, and then you got these horns that are coming down in the same color. If I was to increase them, you sort of see where they land. But if I was to get rid of them, you would sort of see what it originally looks like, and then of course what that looks like, you know, with and without. So let's go here. It's not, it's clothing. No, it's not. We're looking at the horns. Head, horns, and I believe this would be just these ones. Nope, front two. Cool. So if we got rid of them, so you can see like it's not bad. It looks more mannequin-y. Mannequin panikin. Put them on though, and you've almost got like this completely new helmet, which looks so much more badass. But that's the only thing. You know what I mean? Really good use of like armor at the top, but then like the hands are more free. I think I really do appreciate that. You got the left hand that's more caught up here with armor. You know, I think there's always like this classic like one hand look where like on one arm you got that plate armor coming down and you've just got like the hand coming through. That's so cool. The lighting is also super cool, coming from the bottom, sort of keeping the shadows at the top. I don't want to like fangirl about that too much because that's a pro feature and I don't really want to jump on that. Ooh, got a party soon. Dude, you're not late. We're going over a few just HeroForge creations that amazing people at Reddit have made, just what makes them cool, and sort of trying to break down the intimidating factors of like preconceived notions of doubt that people might have when wanting to create their own. It's possible. I sort of know the tips and tricks. I just want to share them. But it's good that you got the party on. But thank you so much for joining. It means so much. For this one, yeah, there's always like this classic like one hand is done up in armor and the other hand is free. I guess that's the hand one wields with a sword. But if you need to get the sword in the other hand, it's like, come on, man. I guess it's not much of a hindrance. It could be like just a cultural thing or like a decorative thing. But I've seen this a lot. I don't think that there are enough scars in this at all. There's like just they don't do justice. They don't give that big wrap that everyone loves. That also makes one feel top heavy without having to make the body top heavy. So the use of the tails here is a pretty classic move, at least with this person that's been creating them and that I've got like 3 more tabs of. It's pretty cool. You got the armor plate, which is like scaled up a bit. I really do like that plate on the shoulder that's scaled up. It's always so cool. But the lighting makes it, and it like really highlights the metal as well. I don't want to go into that. Just saying. Just saying that's what's cool. Dive into this one. This is another one. Again, these are like classic looks that when you sort of think, oh, I'm going to make like a HeroForge creation, this is kind of what you expect maybe yourself to make. But it doesn't always turn out like this. And you sort of think, man, why? And I'll show you why once this guy fully loads. So again, you sort of look at this and you think, okay, this is super cool, yet I haven't seen a lot of it. Why? Yeah, look, honestly, with the colors, like, I agree, like, the colors might not be perfect. It's the lighting. Like, when you got the pro version, the lighting makes everything so mwah. And that's where it's like, here's a dilemma I had in Animal Crossing. So many people posted inspirational photography. And I say inspirational because I found it inspirational, so bias. They would post amazing inspirational photography of islands and things that they've made with like overhead shots, far view shots and stuff like that. And it looks amazing. I've recreated like several of those on my island. And when you create it, you look at it and you go, that's just not cool. It's cool in the photo, and if I had the angle and the filter, then it would look amazing. It would. But when you're running around your island and you're interacting with the game, you know, you got friends playing the game with you as well, it's just not cool. I don't know, it's sort of like a side piece. I go, oh, that's an interesting creation, but it just doesn't have the effect. Like when you walk up to it, your field of view is different and everything. I think that applies to this as well. The colors aren't great, but the colors have been graded so that the lighting, just when it hits it, yummy. Or maybe I'm completely wrong. At least I don't know what the intention is of the creators, but I feel like they do focus on like the lighting a lot. But then I also think like if you're gonna download this, if you're gonna print it, or if you're even gonna download it and put it onto like Tabletop Simulator, you're not gonna get the light. You're just gonna get the colors. So I suppose that's what's more important to me. So in this one, it's like, okay, well, what stands this person out? He looked so solid, but in a good way. Like, so put together. And I was like, what? Why is this so put together? Why does this feel like it's difficult to make? And I was like, okay, first and foremost, I know that those shoulders, like that, what is that body part called? I failed biology on every single account. Why am I mental blanking? The funny bone man. I don't know what I'm talking about. Why did elbow? We be careful. And by we be careful, I mean we be careful what we say, because I just made myself look like a fool. So the elbow here, I was like, okay, that you can't do that. That doesn't exist for the elbow, as a plate of armor. So I was like, okay. But then also here as well, I was like, you see a little something tacky. Not tacky, but there's still something here. And I was like, okay. You see it sort of here again. I was like, okay, it looks solid. Why? Again, I also feel like these guys have like a little, I don't know how to explain it. I'm like, something like this, like a little, like the slightest, like, I guess, I don't know. It's something in like their posture. Anyways, we'll see. And I sort of looked at this before. If you look at the advanced, not super complicated, but a little bit like when you look at the items, you're like, hang on a second. He doesn't have a hatchet. He doesn't have a bottle. You know, he's not holding it. It's not sheathed. Where are they? Let's look. He does have 2 additional arms. So if we were to twist this shoulder out, you will see he is holding a bottle. And we've instantly changed that arm. But how different does this look? You've got the arm, which already has, like, I'm pretty sure, let's have a look at that closer. So that looks like an anatomic arm, like one of the robot's arms, which is also what's making this look like a gauntlet as well here, like a metal gauntlet. Those are the actual just fingers of this fingerless glove gauntlet, I'm pretty sure. And then you twist it back, and they've positioned it so, boom. Something along those lines. I don't know, I can see that really well. I don't know if I presented that very well here. Let's do this again. Bear? Bear. He's essentially created more armor, or like a thicker arm piece, using a bottle. And I'm sure you can guess what happens next. You move this arm, and this arm's holding a hatchet upside down, which is then being placed here to make it look like a backwards arm piece. Elbow piece. I genuinely failed science. I'm pretty sure. I don't even remember anymore. Storm, did I fail science? I think I failed science. Pretty sure I failed science. I failed biology. 100%. Everything else was alright. Everything else here, though, is pretty straightforward. Rocks on the ground, again, the colors are sort of just one theme. Everything was really just put into the elbows and making the arms look good. And again, it's like, I feel like, not that people are forced to because it looks good, but I feel like everyone just uses this specific, Disciple of the Death Cowl. That looks cool for pro users only. But the wrapped large scarf feels like it has to be used. If you take it off, look, now he looks like a classic knight working for Lord Farquaad. Kind of shitty. Put it on, now he looks like a fucking Elden Ring knight. Just like that. Better. Fuller. Nice. Well done to him. Again, I want to save these because I feel like I want to implement these potentially. So I am going to save them just for the sake of being like using them as reference and not having to find them again. Next one is pretty much the same. I think I just saved it because there was like something that I talked about earlier that I wanted to bring up again, is making the helmets look cooler by just adding your own thing. So again, you sort of see this and you think, man, this is so simple, but it looks so good. So what are they doing that I'm not? Well, Interesting, right? How they've got a glove, but this one's got a glove. Can you tell the difference? They're meant to be the same, but if you were to put a glove on this hand, then if you know if you do HeroForge, if you put a glove like this is probably one set, that whole thing. So there's no way that one could have this, but then keep the glove on this. And that's because I'm pretty sure this hand here is just... Oh no, I'm pretty sure it's just like... Yeah, you can see the different in coloration, but I'm pretty sure that's just a glove, whereas that's like a glove with an actual thing. The colors are just off, but it still works. You know, you don't really notice it that much when it's back here. This here, this like down like piece of hide slash like protective space, I'll show you in the pose. Advanced. So again, have a look at this. There's a lot of elements to this, and this is just a simple like knight, like character, right? Very simple. No, never simple. God. So you've got these guys, these like fins, and I'll scale them up and down. So that's what's acting as sort of that protective hide, and again, recolored. What are the multiple hands doing? Well, this one is like the last one. If you pull the hands out, they're extra hands holding cocktail Molotovs, recolored to look like fur. So you get that extra fur look. Come on, man. How sick is that? And we'll move this one as well. This elbow. Again, this elbow is just bent. I think all four elbows, or all four additional hands, are holding these additional 4 cocktail Molotovs. And then underneath, he also has, or I should say they also have, these hide things. And he hasn't even painted those, but he's just got them in there for that extra fur, which I find quite interesting as well. You know, on top of the cocktail Molotov, you can barely tell it's even there, but it's a good little thing to round off the shoulders and especially come around the back here. So, the arm positioning as well is interesting, right? Because the arms are like back. Sort of like, the clavicle is moved back. And so it sort of looks heroic here, and it's sort of like a, you know, chest forward. But I also think it's played really heavy on, like, now that they're connecting, you've got this, like, the shoulder pads connect here as well, which almost make it look like one piece. And you know, I'm interested to see what clothing this person's used, because I've never seen, or I've never used this particular chainmail. Oh yeah, just a chainmail shirt. Yeah, sick. Yeah. I always just go for like big bulky stuff. I never think about like the medium to light armor wearers as well. Why wouldn't you? They exist. They exist. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anything on the neck? No, nothing on the neck. Gloves, he only has a glove on. So yeah, he's got a plain glove, and then of course, a cloth wrapped glove. Trying to make them look the same. And for colors, let's see how many colors he's got in the mix. Quite a few. And I think they've named it like leather, dark chocolate leather. Yep. A few variations of the same, which is something that I went into last... Ooh, I think I went into last stream. Is when like doing variants of one color. Like... So they've got, okay, let's say here, like, they've got, like, floral coral, and then tangerine treasure. They look sort of the same. They're on the same spectrum. So it's like, oh, if I need, like, a tangerine treasure, but a little bit pinker, a little bit lighter, I can just go for floral coral. But in this sense, this is something I've seen a lot more advanced users do, is they just use the same color, but they tweak it themselves. Again, it makes it a little bit harder to look at it and go, okay, I want to do exactly what they've done with the colors, and I want to use the exact colors they've used. because then you think, well, the colors that they've used are actually tweaked variations of the same color. So it's like, how am I going to get the exact color? 100%. You see a color you want, see if they got the HeroForge link, grab it, copy the color, paste the color onto yours. Simple. I mean, you could do the hard work in finding like the exact colors you want, but I sort of say, why not? Like, why? I think these people have made like some amazing work with variations, like dark earth brown. This dark earth brown. Look at these boots, man. Like this dark earth brown is going on the, I assumed the boots, and I guess I assumed correctly, and that's rock. It really highlights the leather under there. And then rock 4, have they got here for the boots? No. Is that the tree? Is that the mud? No. What do they have for these boots? Okay, so for the boots, they've just got a quill. But obviously they have changed the color for that because the original cognac is like a red. But it's interesting. It's almost like if you want to find good colors, like if you really want to do it from scratch, find not the color you want, but what the color brings to the miniature and then adjust the color. Because I sort of have like a visual brain where like if I see it's red, I'm like, that's just red. If I want to put red on the character, I'll put red on the character. But these people are like, oh, I'll put red on the character and then I'll adjust the colors to make it brown. This color was actually perfect to be readjusted because like the shadows and everything makes it look better. Blah, 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 blah. Anyways, that's pretty cool. I really do like those leathers as well. So I'm going to save that one as well. Just using everyone's content. This one was one we looked at earlier. This one does something to me that I didn't expect. The usage of coloration, like, again, this one, fairly simple. Genuinely fairly simple in terms of like you see the hand, the position. What stands out is like the ice on the ground, which automatically translates to like these icy boots. But this one, okay, I say it looks simple, maybe it doesn't, because even the coloring and positioning is complicated. This is our most complicated one yet. Look how many goddamn colors. Of course, everything under the Rotting Harbor isn't being used for this one, but look at this Welcome Stone Robot 5 color here. How wicked is that? I'm pretty sure that's only used for the hilt, and sort of makes it look so powerful. Look at that! I'd happily have that anywhere, but he's just used it for the hilt, I believe. You've got, if I had picked these feet, you've got the Supreme Sky on the feet, but then just above here, you've got the Welcome Stone Robot 2. So they've blended into each other to almost look frosty. Super cool. And then I think what makes this complicated, I mean, aside from the fact that like under his amazing wizard's helmet, he's got this multiple horns and stuff that are making the face. You've got this amazing shoulder pad on one, and then of course a different one on the other. I really like those shoulder pads that like slide down, but also I don't think that shoulder is... I don't think you have the ability to have 3 of these. I feel like that's 2 arms working there. So let's have a little look. The advanced pose, like this page is crazy, this advanced page. And a lot of these hands, what they're essentially doing is just carrying all these additional items that are on the side here, which is pretty cool. I just want to see if any of these extra arms are playing with that shoulder piece. Oh no, it's not. It is actually a trifecta. Okay, maybe I'm just naive and I haven't noticed that. That is a cool shoulder plate with the 3 plates going down. And the way that the arm just handles that sword as well is quite nice. But this, as like that last one, sort of as a summary, is like it sort of plays like with the horns, creating the face. I'll break that down as well. Let's go into clothing. We'll get rid of the hats. Almost look like an anime girl at this point. So you see the horns going down on the face, another 2 sets of horns here. Again, pretty cool. A neck choker to sort of round off the armor. Same sort of blue tinge to the armor, which I find ridiculously cool. we go into mix, what blue is that? What metal have you given us? The Welcome Stone Robot 2. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool if I don't say so myself. And like, look at this. So you would assume like, oh, this is a dark silver, this is a dark silver. So they must all be dark silvers, right? No, look at that. So they're like that. It's like, this is what's impressive. Each color has a dark, a mid, and a highlight. Now, this is essentially to accentuate the shadow, the midtone, and the highlight, respectively. What I've seen a lot of people do, which I sort of just realized now, is they're getting one color and they're making 3 variants of it. A variant of low, mid, high that is low, a variant of low, mid, high that's mid, and a variant of low, mid, high that's high. So this one is like the highlights, and the shadows being the blue. But then this is also like a highlight to the color we're seeing here, which is in itself Welcome Stone Robot 4. Okay. So you've got 2 colors that look the exact same, except one's a highlight, one's the midtone, which is sort of this silver, which seems to be going on its own journey around the entirety of this guy, placing as the shadow. Because even you can see here, that's the color, yeah, no, yeah, and that's there as well. So you've got a color playing as the lighter parts, color playing as the darker parts, but then you've even got these bolts here, which are Welcome Stone Robot 1. Which, look at that. Same color, but now playing the shadow, right? Not often used, as you can see. Trying to see where else that is used. Not on the neck. Just seems to be used on the bolts. Looks like it's just being used on those bolts. And so you can see the arms and... Oh, no, you can't. I can. You can see the like the mess that comes about folding these arms 100 different ways at the back, but with a nice cape, you don't see it and you don't worry about it. But how wicked is that? I really like that sword. I think it's so cool. So wicked. I'm going to save that as well. Now with all these different saves that I've put forth, I really would like to create a new character. Sort of had the inspiration for this watching a video today where someone did a cool little thing with a glove that I'll start off with, and we'll go from there. I want to create almost like this Dragon Knight, and it'll definitely take the rest of the stream to do, because these do take time, but I hope you guys can sit back, enjoy. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see or touch up upon, because they've got some amazing stuff here. Actually, something I want to quickly crack onto is this pendant. What's going on here? I want to know what this pendant in his chest is. Is this like an item? Clothing, shoulders. It's not like a necklace, is it? No, because he's got the choker, obviously. Oh, it just comes with the armor. Okay, so, oh, interesting. So he's done an over effect there. He didn't go under. Is this over one in the under? So this is over, and this is basic chest mail plate piece. Can we find that again? Ooh, is it only in the over? Wow, is it only in the over and not in the under? I felt like a lot of the over stuff was just revamped under stuff. So under you'd wear a piece and then over you'd wear something over, right? Not all of them have a combination, like you can't put them all together. But it looks like that he's got an armor piece that is only available in the over section and not in the under section. I was super blissfully aware of that. Unaware of that, I should say. Yeah, it doesn't exist. Wow. That's super cool. Basic plate male chest piece. Maybe I'm just blind, but I don't see it. Wow, that is so cool. Alright, I like that. Alright, let's get into this pose. Now this pose I didn't create, so I want to put that out there. I didn't create the pose, but I got the pose, and I want to create something with it. Did I save this boy? If not, we have now. Without his hat, that's okay. So this pose I really wanted to work with. That's an amazing start to what we want. And I think the sword's got some amazing colors to that as well. Yeah, wow. So let's work on what I wanted to showcase first, which is, what I might do is I'll bring up one of the other ones. Oh, here up. This site can't be reached. Come on, HeroForge. So I will just use this one to steal colors. So essentially what I want to do here is go into his body, extras, and on his right hand, what do I want to give him? I think I want to give him the claw. Like just a clawed hand. I know I've gone way past it already. There's the skeletal hand, the robot hand. I don't think they just have the... Ooh, do they not just have the... The clawed hand? It's like a whole arm? Interesting. No, it's a glove, isn't it? Is it a glove? I swear it was a hand. Or you could just have like clawed hands. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, so you could have like clawed hands, not the skeletal hand. Am I being punked? That's the question. Because this, oh goodness, my desk is falling apart. I don't want this clawed robotic arm. Huh. Very interesting. I really did think that there was like just like a claw hand. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's look at clothing and let's look at gloves. Break this apart and we'll go... Bengals be too big. It may have just been prosthetic hand. You know what? I think it was just prosthetic hand. Because I think there's a glove here, which is just claws. There we are. Scaly claws. No, not... I don't want those. Not scaly claws, is it? I don't want scaly claws. Monstrous claws. Is this scaly claw that I want? I'm pretty sure it was scaly claws. And see, now that just looks like a very typical... like glove. I want to make it into a gauntlet. So we'll go back to body, back to hand. I believe if we make this an artificial hand, gauntlet. If I make this say prosthetic, yeah, it doesn't look as good. It really just looks like, what about skeletal? Nah. Alright. So yeah, we want like artificial hand. I don't think we want frog. Yeah, artificial. That's more gauntlet-like. But the question becomes, do I want that? I was like, that's a really cool trick, I want to do it. But let's have a little look here. I think the basis in which I want to sort of have him look similar to is, or at least take inspiration from, I should say. Where did they get saved? I think the template robes and steel. I think that is super sick. But is that the one we want to draw from? Might just be. I think I saw one up here. Where was the one up here? Maybe not. Oh no, that was him. Alright. I think, yeah, we'll grab this guy. Alright. Because I definitely think there's some colors here that we want to look at getting. So even like what he's done here, so he's got like a gauntlet. And I think he's got the metallic hand. Let's have a look. So this would be good if I have a piece of armor that, like a chest piece that actually goes all the way down, but we might have to change this. I even do like this armor piece here. So we might have a little look at even implementing that one as well. Let's go clothing. Look, the over stuff, I didn't know that there was like over stuff that you couldn't get in under. I honestly thought over stuff was just a copy and paste of everything that was an under. So it's a little bit like surprising to me that that would exist. So that's a good basis. I do like that, but then it does look weird there. And again, not like it would look like a gauntlet if it doesn't have sleeves like that. But now that it does, it looks whack. It's like, okay, there's no point in having that. It's probably better to just have a gauntlet. So I wanted this fighter to be like essentially something between like a mix of like a dragon rider and a witcher. So it would sort of be along those lines of like, they're like specifically dragon tamers. They're not, I don't want to say they're overly skilled in like hand-to-hand combat. They're more like animal handling, but there is a process of like taming these dragons and almost like conquering them that they need to achieve, and you can't be unskilled for that. So I do have the idea that they gotta have some sort of skill. So this is the one they've used. I do like that. I don't want to super copy paste, and I feel like the more I look at this, the more I am gonna do it. But I feel like no matter what I do, it's not going to be the final result. And here's why I say that. I always relate everything back to Animal Crossing. Even when I was playing that game, and I would like copy what someone has done, like inspiration that I was like, man, I need that on my island. I'd end up putting it down and then being like, nah, it's just not me. And so as much as I'm like, this is something, I need to make it something else. Oh, I see why there's 3 now, because it comes with the top and then they put 2. Smart, clever girl. I do like this. I'm not going to be able to keep the gloves. It was an idea, but maybe it's still something we can play with. The idea of it. It's just not strong enough to have that sort of monster hand. Is there any others that might look cool? Black guard chest piece. Again, sometimes it's hard to get sort of the pivotal ideas on what some of these look like when they're not coloured. But I suppose, hey, if it looks cool when it's not coloured, then you got an idea of what it does look when it is. Hey, that's cool. Disciple of Death leather armor. I like that. That's a very classic look right here. But not very Dragon Rider. That doesn't shout Dragon Rider to me. Oh, that could be something. It's quite big, actually. Still a fan of this, but I do want to have a little look. Something that I feel like I never do is like just go through these. Just look at them for what they're worth. Except these two, I always skip these two because they're so cool. And I know that I will use them. They're like staples. I'm like, yeah, there's no way I'm not using this today. That's not bad. It's got something to it. Okay, there's something about this that I'm drawn to. Maybe it's the super ripped abs, but we won't talk about it. If I got a good gauntlet here and a good gauntlet there, and then some shoulder piece to really accentuate that, that might look good. Because it doesn't need it there. So perhaps in gloves. These will obviously be unlinked because this one's going to have to be different. Maybe before I do gloves, I'll work down the arm. Shoulders unlinked. No. Wait, why no? I need to fix them up. Keep with the theme, man. Maybe add some fur. I think it's just his left shoulder that will have something. But then does that even make sense? We'll make it make sense. Just you watch. That almost works, like both of them have lips there. Like it's like a lip. I do like it, but maybe it's too much. That covers it completely. I don't think I like that. It's also not even just about the design, it's about like what you do with it as well. Like for instance, let's go this one and then smack that advance. There's so much one can do with it, it's crazy. So I'd probably have it like here, and even I'd have it like coming down the arm as well. Even something like that. Then I'd probably slide it, oh, not up, forward, I guess? Oh shit. Something like that. Maybe even just have a little bit more down. I want it to really connect with the arm. Okay. Scale it. Right now, what is it at? Like 1? One's not bad. I got 1.1 right now. We'll see if we can't get a gauntlet that sort of also works with that as well. So let's see if we can't jump into... gloves. Alright, unlink again. See, I don't know if this feels super clunk. I feel like that needs to be like... not wrapped, would it need to be wrapped? I reckon like he would need mobility of some degree. What did he have here? I think those gauntlets are pretty badass. I was seeking those. I believe they are... these ones? Yeah. And he sort of made them like the fingers. So it's like a whole glove, but he's made those the fingers. Does he have same glove both ends? Yeah, same glove both ends. You know, I was like, man, I want to change that chest piece to like something different. But then now I'm looking at it, I'm like, I really like this piece here. It sort of compensates for the goddamn need of a scarf to sort of make you bulkier. I'll work with it, I'll make it work. And like honestly, I know that this is his skin, but I could just put like a color on that and make it look like a shirt. Might be cooler if it's not though. It would be nice to have a shirt. Wait, this was an over. Oh. This wasn't over. So I could still put something under to give it a bit of maybe something that just gives him a bit of sleeve? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's necessary. be nice to have like a tight option. Something that says I'm armor without that's okay. Football jersey, I like that. Just because it's tight. Having something tightly fitted around his arms to just make it seem like it's not. Not clothes, but like, well, yeah, like, I don't want him to necessarily be bare-skinned. But maybe that would make him look badass. What clothing do you have here? Because clearly he's got something under that. If I go chest and I go under, what's he wearing under? Oh, that's just full over, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, I see what he's done. He's made the chest. Okay. He's made the chest the same color as that. Okay. I don't think I'm gonna do that, seeing as though it's like really... See if I can't get anything for under. Might work, might not. Maybe it's not necessary. I think it'd be wise to be well protected, especially when you're on such a beast. So, I don't want it to not make sense. But also everything in here just looks like a top. That could work. I could make that metal. That really fills it out, eh? You've even got the double neck. And it doesn't come here because it doesn't just work with that cut. Okay, I can work with that. He doesn't need a neck piece, does he? Does that defeat the purpose of that? I think it looks cool, I like that. Yeah, it's a little bit too much. Okay, let's move down to his legs. What is this guy? Okay, so this guy has those, but he's got like multiple more items on his pants. So we want something that's going to work well with riding on a dragon. I like how I'm working more towards the practical nature of riding on the dragon rather than just what I think looks cool. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do what would be appropriate for the dragon. Otherwise, what's the point? That's what he's got, right? Oh no. He's got these guys with tour boots. Let's go with these and with the feet. Let's go with a... Man, I don't want him to be super chunky on his feet. Like, I don't want him to be super heavy. I want it to be a balance. Want there to be a balance so that... I mean, admittedly, he looks pretty badass. I think it will come down to the head, where I'm going to get into the Master Craftsman of... Let's rename this to... Oh, I can't do like underscores. Okay, we'll just do Dragon Rider. And I will most likely colour him off stream and then jump back on and show you guys what the end result is, and we can always tweak him. I think I'll definitely play with some of the colours that have also been given to his sword already. I might also play with that as well. Let's do his head, the most exciting part. Let's build him up. The thing is, I think what we might do is add the helmet and the horns and then add the rest. That could be something. I think there are certain things I need to work on here. Like, just the scale of things, he looked too, like, almost anime. And I want it to look obtainable and realistic. He's just so ridiculously intimidating. Like, so unnecessary, like... They're cool. Unbelievably so, I'll tell you that. Man, picking a helmet is hard. Your signature dish. What is going to make you look... Oh yeah. But even now, like as I do this, I'm having doubts about his initial body gear. Man, look how he's just so over the top. I want something subtle. I think that's a bit dragon ridery. Dragony ridery. I think his shoulder pad could have just used some work. I think you saw how outfit could do with a bit of like fur. Perhaps. Something like that. I could do what we saw today. I could do those extra arms and have some like additional fur coming out of him. That draped over fur. think you want it to be these ones. And you want them to be holding the thrown weapon, cocktail Molotov. Is cocktail Molotov is it a drink or is it a weapon? Is a cocktail Molotov a drink or a weapon? I want to know. Sounds like a drink. It's used as a weapon. But it could be drunk if you're quick enough. I guess if you drink it, it defeats the purpose. There we go. In that hand and in that hand. So essentially we want to make him so they're draping down onto the character. Probably want to bend it like that. Probably twist it in like that. No, not tilt. Well, we do want to tilt it because we want the arm to be inside the body. Can we get that more on the body? There we go. Oh. That doesn't look right. What does that do? Right, so I could probably do it for like the opposite side, would it be? Or one arm, same arm to same arm to same side. Actually, it should really just be in the wrist, right? As long as I can get the arm hidden. Man, this is what I feel like takes them hours of work. It's hiding the arms. Let's see if we can't pull up that example. Who had the multiple arms. Did we save him? I don't think we saved him. Nope, we did. He had the arms giving the Molotov cocktails. So if we go into body, who's advanced? So let's go top left. Shoulder twist -38. Shoulder twist -38. Bend at 15. Bend at 15. Tilt 0. Elbow twist 0. Or -1. Then it would probably, the rest will be in the hand. Wrist at 0.3. Bend at 1 and tilt at -37. if I go mullet of cocktail, I don't know which one's which. Reversed. So it's either oh, so that's that one. So it must be the -25. Let's try that. So if that's reversed, that gets him there. So I guess maybe like both of them are reversed, right? Because if that's top, that top one is reversed. Top reverse at 5 or something along those lines, 5. Because of just his stature. And that's hidden the hand? Is that hidden the hand? I guess that's the second one, right? So we'll get the shoulders into place. And then we'll see if we can't work the item. So right arm. -18, 16, 0, 0. Is that -18? Yeah, -18, 16. Something like that. Of course, 0, 0. The hand we tilt at 25, 16, -38. Cool. And then we go to the cocktail and we go reverse. You know, it's interesting that like they're both technically reversed, but one turns out different, and also that arm is just sticking out just a little bit. Just a little bit. Let's see if we can't fix that up, because that's... I'd be like there. Right? Yeah, reversed at -43. So I suppose this is where like some maneuvering where the arms come in. What happens if I don't necessarily want it there. I kind of want it more up on the shoulder, you know? It's his pose as well, which is sort of what's showing the hand. They're sort of just coming at like nipples. That's not what we want. That is not what we want. It's not. We don't want nipples. Not on him. I want to do that. Don't know if it's possible to get the outcome I'm looking for. I mean, that's sort of it there. But just what that arm has to do to get there, it's not hidden at all. And I feel like a cape would be necessary to sort of drive that attention away. And I gotta keep remembering it's like goddamn opposite day in this bitch. See, now that I've perfected that one, after that long silence of me just being like, my goodness. Now that I've perfected that one, I realize how shit this one looks. I feel like a cape would get tied up with... Oh man, Disciple of Death Cape? What's going on? I feel like these long capes would get super tied up with the dragon, but perhaps that's cool. Actually, that works. Oh! Oh. That works really well with the miniature. And it hides the arm. Oh. Don't you just like it when it comes together? And why I say I like that it comes together is that I don't feel like I have to touch the cape. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel like I have to touch it. It perfectly bounce because of this cut here. It perfectly bounces off this shoulder because the arm, and it's like coming up because he's drawing his sword back, and then it's stick it in my mouth. It's fucking cool. It looks good. You look good. So I like that, and I like that the extension of the cocktail Molotov looks like an extension of this as if it's draping over. Oh, fucking hell. You know what's funny is that, yes, he doesn't have any facial features. I kind of like him without him. We'll see. We'll try with and without facial features. Sneeze break. And we're back. How was your sneeze break? I hope it was good. I hope you had a... I hope you didn't have more than 2. That's it. Alright. What has this guy got? What's this guy got that we don't got? I will look at some of the browns he's used as influence. Especially with his helmet, I reckon his helmet's really cool as well. Although that's simple boy. Oh, what if we did that? I don't think we need that. Or maybe we do. Yes, we do. Okay, let's go to head. Let's go to... horns? Horns? I should talk into the mic. Horns. And go into here. Side fins. And now we're going to go into the pose, the advance, the fins. Let's see if we can just do it like this. But essentially... Oh, they completely flipped up. Oh, I think I know what they've done here. Have they done it like that? Something like that? Just to like completely cover the neck. Because it's covered at the front with these guards, but it's not covered at the... See, like, it stops there, and it doesn't then cover the rest of the neck. Now it do. I don't think they need to be scaled. Maybe just a touch, like that. Okay. I might do the extra arms to then... Because look at that. That's the only thing, that's the only discrepancy, is that arm popping out right there. I could make that go away with like an item though. I reckon, like a big enough item here. I mean, it's kind of barely noticeable. Like you saw, it's noticeable. I've officially made it noticeable. It's so interesting that one side does it, but the other side doesn't with the arm. It's like whatever though. could... What could I put there? I could move the arm. But I really like this pose. Let's see if we can't put anything there. On the side. Maybe like, can I put like a dagger there? You know, like from the chest? I reckon I could put like, from like the chest dagger. I don't know. Let's see. Those are big daggers though. So sheath the dagger. It's not gonna go higher than that. Is it a casualty of war? Let's save this. Because I don't mind the dagger being there. What was I gonna do? I'm like sitting here like, what was I actually gonna do here? I was gonna move the arm. I don't want to. I think it's gonna look shit. Something like that would make it unnoticeable. Can I redo? I can undo, can't redo. Kinda like that. It is bugging me. I tell you what, it is really bugging me. But I think that's something we're going to have to come back to next time. We're going to save him. Our Dragon Rider, we've got the components together. The beautifully worked like bear skin at the back. I think we've got him in a good place. I reckon if I can figure out a way to get rid of this, I don't know, it's just bugging me. It's the part of the arm for this. So maybe I might be able to slot it more on the body and then readjust this to fix it. It might not look the same. I don't know. I'm going to make it. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a copy of him. I'm going to fiddle around with him to really mess him up. Try to do different things. Then if he's good, I'll keep that as the main one. But if he's not, I'll just come back to this one and then it saves me doing a whole bunch of fun do's. Nevertheless, if you guys have been watching, I'm so grateful. I know sometimes it goes into a nice quiet period of just sort of creating and listening to music. If you guys like that, I'm really glad. I'm really grateful for that. But guys, thank you so much for joining. If you have, you know, these 2 hours, good time to get a short rest. Get some of those HP back, you know? Get some of those spell slots back if you're lucky enough. Re-quiver your quiver. Re-bow your bow. Guys, thank you so much. I love you so much. Hope you guys have an amazing night. Take care. Peace and love to you all. Bye.